What are the things that you look for when you want to invest in an NFT project?
And so NFTs have taken off by storm. It's still very early, and usually with any tech project that's new, there's a lot of grifters that, try to get involved, try to make quick arbitrage. So there's a lot of scams, and media likes to focus on the scams, but the reality is that this technology is huge. It's going to change a lot of verticals that we know, a lot of companies and the way things are run. NFT essentially gives property rights to digital assets. Digital assets can be music, audio, consider your podcasts, your pictures, your books, whatever asset that you, or any creative that you post online, you can, if it's tokenized as an NFT on the blockchain, you now have ownership of it. You can license it to people for income, and you can get royalties in perpetuity just by owning that NFT. And we're starting to see a lot of NFTs play a huge role in the formation of decentralized autonomous organizations. It gives you access to major types of projects. But the purpose of this video is for me to highlight a few things that I pay attention to before I invest in an NFT project. And I've invested in quite a few of them, whether it's influencer-led or, like VFriends or projects like Stone Ape Crew. Three things are important here. One of them is utility. That NFT collection needs to have utility, and by utility I mean, as an investor, I just don't want to buy a JPEG or just a photo. Don't get me wrong, there's value in art. There are people collect art. I'm not an art collector, so I like projects that have decentralized finance utility to them, so I can stake and earn more NFTs or tokens that are tradable. For example, one major one is like I mentioned, Stone Ape Crew. You can stake it. Root Troop NFT that I've also owned, you can stake as well. And these projects all have very documented on their roadmap the type of what their mission is and what they're trying to accomplish. And so that's the second thing. It needs to have a very well documented roadmap. The third thing is that the creators or the founders need to have a lockup period. It's important that they're not able to sell their NFTs or sell their, dump their NFTs right after mint, So there needs to be an extended lockup period, a vested time, so that they can also share the risk with outside investors long term. It's also important to me that the quality of the team is top notch. Like, these guys either have to already have, at least one of them on the team should have tech background, maybe even raised funds in the past or worked on previous projects. That's important. Then finally, it's necessary that they don't start out the back trying to raise a lot of money. I've been involved in different rug pulls where I find that because the founders, it was more of a cash grab. They priced their mint price really high, and which allowed for them to raise so much money, and a lot of time, and then they just disappear. Here's the bonus. Decentralization and blockchain allows for anonymous people, anonymous founders. Bitcoin itself has an anonymous founder. Satoshi Nakamoto, we don't know who it is, whether it's a group of people or one person, but Bitcoin works. So I don't knock anonymous founders when it comes to NFT projects, but I'm more inclined to invest in projects that have well-documented founders. I can go on their LinkedIn, I can look them up online, and even great if they've worked for Fortune 500 companies, which some of them have. So those are the rules for me when I try to check off that list, these of items before I invest in a project. In my experience, it gives me a higher percentage of a positive return. You're talking about 60-70% and up chance of that project giving me a good return of investment, both on the short and the long term. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys. Tune in next time for some more of this content. If you do like this type of content, subscribe to Empathy is Money, MONEY, because I believe in empathy and I know that empathy can be lucrative. We need to start running our businesses with empathy right at the infrastructure of the business. We need to put yourself in the shoes of your customers. How would you like that product to be and service to be if it was being rendered to you? And so when you start from that point of view, you start to realize that it's no longer about money. It's not really about the money. It's about making your customer the happiest with your service or product. And that guarantees long-term retention and profit. Again, it's Nnamdi. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you next time.